Hello everyone, Corn here and welcome to my channel. I thought we'd work on a card together, and I want to apologize first for my nails because I've been messing with inks and there were teeny tiny little pieces and I just kept putting ink on them too, so I know they look bad, but they are clean. It's just my baby wipe didn't get I didn't get there in time. But what I have here is a card that has, do you remember when Hobby Lobby put these on clearance where it's your embossing folder, but it's also a die, so it gives you that window? And I had first cut out a piece of craft paper in this design and wanted to do get in there with my Tombow markers and do a little coloring on the embossed areas. And when I did it on the craft, I had a tendency to bleed and not look great. So what I did was I took this Craftsmith mixed media paper. There's 60 sheets. It's a 7x10, and I got it at Ross for $4.99 plus 49 cents. 50 cents off of that, because on Tuesday people over 60 get a 10% discount. But yeah, I took one of these pages out and made a card so that I could use my Tombow markers and have them look half decent on the embossed areas. And then on the inside, this is, remember you all saw me haul, not my last haul, but time before last, Tell the Bees, Hackney and Company. And remember, I just fell in love with that sheet. And I don't think my light was picking up, but can you see? It's like glossy wings. Just so cute. I like to put glossy accents on it. And I wanted to do the leaves and stuff. These leaves are done in a Tombow marker 126. These leaves are done in 158. And I just had fun. I really did. And so I knew I wanted my bees in the background going to the flowers. Some of these flowers that are embossed, I'll be honest with you, I don't think are gorgeous, so I wanted to cover them up. Let me tell you what I came up with at first, and then I kept saying no, no, no. Our bees, as most of you all know, our bees love sunflowers, so this is me trying to make a sunflower. And this is made with these dies I got, oh boy, on Amazon.com, and I just used two of the same in a pale, this is how pale that yellow was, paper, and then put one on top of the other so that it would appear to look more like a sunflower. And then, you know, sunflowers have such a large seed bed, I guess, seed section. And so I did that I just pulled the paper back up and then just started cutting in a more like an oval shape and just making it so because seeds, it wouldn't be an oval like that, it would be for the seeds. And what I ended up doing with the petals, I knew that I needed an orangey yellow. So they were already yellow. So I went and got my Distress ink in Rusty Hinge, okay? And you all know we get these makeup sponges from Dollar Tree, and then we take our scissors, and I think you all might do the same thing. I always do. I cut it so that those sharp edges are gone, and then cut around it and get this shape. So I went over it in the Rusty Hinge, and just, to leave for highlights, just just kind of had fun with it, to be honest. And then, like I said, I kept making it larger and larger. I did 3 different sizes. And it ended up doing, let's see, special, yeah, no, walnut stain is what I did for the edges. And then I ended up doing a little bit of rusty hinge in the center, and then on top of that I did the distressed ink mustard seed. So that has like layers for the seed bed. And then that little piece on top, I also cut that out because there's always usually a little section where the seeds are lighter. And then I just took my, that was in yellow, a brighter yellow, and then I just took the mustard seed on this little dauber and just to give it that look, you know, so that it does look like a little teeny seeds in there. And so what I was doing, y'all, I just kind of, when it comes to cards, sometimes I do too much, and I have to, do you all do this? Do you have to step out of the room and say, okay, I've got too much on there, it's too busy, come back later, read or watch a show or something, then come back later and take a fresh look. And I didn't have to do it, but let me show you. I ended up making these flowers, one for here and one for here, because they go with this paper and everything so perfectly. Then I went and got, this is before I stepped out. Then I got this off of a trim on Amazon. This is just daisy after daisy, and I cut this out of the trim to put here, okay? These weren't, the only thing I did in the Tombow markers were the greens at that time. Then I thought, our bees, and most bees, love purple flowers. So I put one here, and that's over an embossed flower I don't think is too gorgeous. Then I thought, ooh, I need to put just 1 or 2 of these, of the lavender. So I did these tiny punches. And this is once I take my stylus to them and, you know, give them a little bit of dimension, then they're going to look like that. And I put one here, and then I haven't put these together because I was going to do them on camera together. And then I was going to put one here. So, you know, we're getting... So I was like, I don't like it. No. So, oh, sorry, I bumped my bee. So this came off because even though I really love them color-wise with the background, with the window, we don't have any flowers that color. This, to me, stood out too much. Normally, I love a little applique on something, but I thought it just stood out too much. I thought, do I need, even though they love purple, do we need the purple on there? Do we really need the lavender on there? So things started coming off. This I definitely wanted the sunflower because most of you all know here, if you visited my channel before, we do have tons of sunflowers planted. And for our bees, and our bees get so tired getting so much pollen that they take a nap. And Handsome and I just stand there and watch them sleeping. It's the sweetest thing. So I thought, okay, we're leaving that. We're leaving our greens because I not only had already done it, but I just like it. So then I took this punch, which is the Paper Studio, the Daisy punch, and did 2 of those punches. And then I thought the center would be sweet in yellow, but with the edges scalloped. So one for there and one for here. And it still looked odd at the time because I had not colored these in with the Tombow marker 062 yet. And I thought, the leaves are just there. Even though it's embossed, these darling little flowers, it looks weird. So I started taking out my yellow markers, and I thought this one would be perfect. Doesn't it look like it would be perfect with everything else that, well, what I do to make sure that my colors are the way I want them to be. This, of course, is the centerpiece that got cut out, and of course this is the mixed media paper. So this is how I knew the greens I wanted, and then I took this out because I thought this is going to be the perfect color, really. And if you all can see, I test them to make sure before I put them on here. It's orange. It's a pale orange. It's not peach, but it's orange. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. So the closest I could get, even though I think that's a little bit bright, but that's the closest I could get, because I don't have tons of yellows, to be honest. And the other yellows look like they're an orangey yellow also. So I was like, no, can't have that. So ended up just using this one, and I did not do them perfectly, you know what I mean, where you just make those perfect little half circles and everything. I just went over the petals in this once. I didn't even do it twice, I didn't even do shading or anything. I just thought, just leave it like that. Now I might go back and do some shading, but I don't want it too dark. I like the idea of just a pop of pale color. But after I took everything else off, I thought, okay, now I like that because I like the white on white. I like that. I think that's pretty. Because I'm leaving so much embossing that is, you know, on the white. Just do that. And I like this better. I think this is prettier, personally. And, oh, that's the wrong one. So I thought, oh, and another thing I did, and the reason, a lot of you are probably going to already know where this is going to go to, but in haul before last, I've had these darling little paper clips of the bumblebees, and I've been hoarding them. Because yes, I do take them out periodically, look at them, and just smile. But remember, I got these bee charms, and there are 4 of them. There is the silver, the gold, the antique bronze, and then there's a rose gold. So this has all 4 of them in there as gifts to put in this card. So I can't have it too heavy. It cannot go through the machine, you know. So the other thing I'm going to do, what I did with this is I was gifted, Maida Acosta gifted she made a lot of these bags and put darling little goodies in them, and I kept all of them but one. And then I took that one apart, to be honest, and I think, I hope and pray she understands, and then made me a template on Handsome's Cheerio box so that I could make my own. Did I trace it perfectly or cut it out perfectly? Because this is pretty heavy. No, but you trim them up. You know, once you get it, and you're like, oh, that's not straight. It's still not straight. It's still not straight. And then inked around it in the fossilized amber. And I'm going to put a stencil. I got a bee honeycomb stencil that I'm going to put on the front of this and include with the card. And thank you, Maida, very much. I appreciate that, your help in that. And so I thought we could finish this together. So this is a whole bunch of me yapping and showing you. Sometimes I just go overboard, you know, and then I have to dial it back. But I thought I could use, remember I could show you. I even have it here. I thought I would be able to use one of these. Remember we got these at Dollar Tree, what is it, a year or 2 ago? And I love them. You see, I got 2. One of them I've used, and the other one, you can see, I just love them so much, I'm hoarding them. But I thought I could use one of these, but see, it would have to be this one or these. But it's too small. So that's why I had to make my own. So if y'all like to join me, or if you're like, good land, she's already talked so much, I'm out. I understand. Alrighty. So here we go. I've got it on this. Let me take these off because I don't have to. I thought we were going to work with some flowers, but we don't have to. And what I do, I take my stylus, and this is, I'm going to go like this because it's awfully bright and reflective. This is an old mouse pad I got from Target, and it is so foamy and so padded. I used to use foam sheets from Dollar Tree, put several together, and yes, mostly in pink, and give some dimension to my flowers that way. But I'm like, no, don't need to do that when I got something this squishy, which is really fun. But when you're working with daisies and stuff, as you know, they come in such a narrow way. You don't really need to. You can still give them dimension, but it's really not that necessary. So let's see here. Let's take them off. And then I'll show you why you don't need to. And first off, let's do this one, because there's the yellow that I started with. And because it's the exact same, and they did such a lovely job with the leaves, I tried every single spot, and these still are awfully close together, but that's the closest I could get, you know? But, so I had fun with the inking, as you see. That was fun. My little art glitter glue is acting up for some reason. I'm not sure. I took the top off of it thinking, well, maybe it's acting up because there's dried glue in there or something, but I don't know. The glue wants to just keep it going, you know? We're going to put this like here. Alright. And then I thought, we've got to keep these petals within the card. I'm just hoping, let me get up, see if you can still see me. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I even need this anymore. The mouse pad. You know, we can, you know what I mean, we can manipulate them and have them stand up so much, but I think I left that out because I was going to do those flowers in purple too, but you can leave your first punch or your first die cut like so, and because these petals are so narrow here, you can manipulate them with your fingers. See? You can just curl them up and everything with your fingers, which I think it's fun before you place them down, which is what I'm going to do instead of go this route, you know, like I did with these flowers. That's what I did. I just manipulated in circles each petal, drew it in, and then drew them up, and well, we've done that together before. So let me go ahead and put these on the side here. Now, I would normally have waited and done these yellow flowers with y'all, but my eyesight is so poor that all y'all would see is the top of my head, and I could tell you this, it's not that thrilling. Let's put it this way, I'd fast forward through that. So let's put my mouse pad down. So here we go. We've got our bees going to all the flowers. I'm not sure on the center of the yellow ones if I am going to put little gems or if I'm just going to put some stickles. I will probably do stickles because I think with this being sunflowers and daisies, I think the stickles might be sweeter and just in the center, you know, not all over the place. More of a wildflower type situation. So, first off, let's do our daisies. And by that, I'm covering up these two flowers that I personally don't think are beautiful. So we already did that. And if y'all think they're beautiful, that's fantastic. I just personally don't. So let's do this. All we need to do is put that art glitter glue there. Pick this up. As you all know, we're all just putting it where the little in between where the others are. I must put a lot of glue on that because it's wanting to scoot around. And again, you can manipulate these petals with your fingers, but we all know once it goes into the mail, that's it. And let's put this here in its center. And I wanted to put my yellow seed beads in the center. And have you all done this? Oh, I'm going to reorganize the craft room. And then when you reorganize the craft room, where you knew where everything was, all of a sudden you're like, you go to grab it, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, wait a minute. Where did they go? Yeah, I can't find them. Oh, Lordy. Did I get mad? Yes. I don't like getting mad, by the way. Someone on YouTube once wrote me and said, are you mad at me? And I said, no, I'm not mad at you. I said, if I ever get mad, run. And I don't know if she understood what I was saying. I am an older Southern lady who was taught a certain way by our moms and our grandmothers, actually, to no matter what, come heck or high water, you stay genteel. You stay a lady. So a lot of Southern women my age have a lot of anger inside because we never let it go, you know? And human beings have their own way of dealing with anger that they don't let go. And that's why I said, oh my word. I lost it. I was like, no, darling, if I'm ever mad, just run, because I'll tell you a little secret. If I ever get mad, I'm going to try to run away from myself. I'll be like, if I ever let it go. I'm not going to say I've never been mad and hurt. I've been mad and hurt off and on my whole life, but I don't let it go. As if I did, like I said, I'd be trying to run away from myself. Be like, uh-oh. That ain't right. Wouldn't be genteel at all, would it? Okay. And yes, I know some of you all are going to write in the comments below. You've got to let your anger go, Corn. We have a little joke in this house, and we're much better about it now, but oh, you're sad, you're hurt, you're angry, eat something. That used to be my thing. I was like, I'm going to eat my feelings. And I'm laughing about it. It's not cool. It's not healthy to do that. I'm a lot better now. 100% better, no. 75? Yeah. So, and yeah, when I really have to let anger go, I've got to pray about it. Yeah, I go to my faith. See, you don't even need your stylus on this. Check this out. The way daisies are, you can just manipulate them with your own fingers. Look at that. So, now we have to place them properly. Did I do it? Oh, I didn't know I already did that one. I'm too busy yapping. Okay. And let's put that one there where that petal can go right between those leaves. Okay. And then we have to make sure we get it so that we don't put it down there. So instead of putting it on here, let me see where that's going to fall. I'm going to put it on the card itself because this has to go over. Okay. It's mostly going to be around in here. Over that embossed flower that I don't think is pretty. Okay. And we said it's going to go to where my petals can still be included in my envelope. And then when you open it, oh look, oh that's pretty. I didn't know it was going to look like that. And I mean on the inside, just seeing just nothing but the little petals in the pale yellow against that white. So there's my window card. After I told myself to take all the other stuff off and to have fun with inks and to have fun with your markers. And like I said, I'm going to put some stenciling on the front of this and include these because when I saw those bee charms, first I said I want them, and then I thought of somebody else here on YouTube that loves bees as much as me. And like I said, if you want, you can still take these, and even though we're dealing with a sunflower, it still came from a daisy dye, and go like so. So hopefully all that dimension and the embossing is showing up. And like I said, I'm going to do a little something with the center of the yellow ones, and I might do a little bit of shading, but besides that, I thought the white on white was pretty and just pops of color. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.